let's just like think back a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. Like we have the camera, the light. It's like, what is this gonna be?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mess up your going down memory lane?
Kinda.
Excuse me.
Let's
For caring about the people who support us.
This life goes so fast. Sometimes you just gotta take a moment and look outside the window. Yeah, it's been pretty fantastic. Who we brought on, our friends. These different creators, these different like perspectives. I felt very. I learned a lot about myself, not only in a podcasting capacity, because I never did one. I really, honestly, not a huge podcast fan either. So I learned a lot.
I really like them. But it's interesting because I actually really liked listening to more educational podcasts. And so but I think podcasts are cool. And I think it has opened the door for me to try and listen to other podcasts.
And there's a podcast community too. I went to Hispanicize this year, and if it was whoever had a podcast, I was like, oh, I have a podcast. I'm like, oh, we should swap podcasts. And then we just went on iTunes.com and subscribed to each other. And then I think one guy did a selfie video. And there's a podcast community, and us kind of talking to people and hearing about how they do things, and us kind of having a space in that has been really welcoming and cool. Yeah.
I would say it's not easy, though. I think it's something that looks easier than what it is. It's not necessarily that it's hard. I just think that it looks easier than what it is.
It's tedious. It's because you're constantly producing something. It's constantly a deadline over and over and over again that never ends. It's this wheel that keeps turning, and you're trying to because we used to produce it every week, which is kind of nuts.
I know. Thinking back to that, I can't. I mean, I'm sure all of the fans loved it, but
yeah, and I'm glad we're able to provide that for you guys.
You sound kind of loud.
And I'm glad we were able to provide that for y'all. But yeah, it is a grind. I talk to other people too in the podcast space, and it's again, it's not heavy lifting. It's just a constant lift. I think it's you never set it down.
Yeah,
is the thing. But I think what motivates me is the people. Honestly, the Patreon supporters,
Well, and then also, I mean, just the people. I think when we set out, we were just we'll just sit around and chit chat with each other.
Yeah.
But I think that the way in which people have become so connected and vulnerable and sharing their stories and actually looking for I want to know what you guys think about this particular situation I'm in, and also I'll just never forget for the marriage episode, I think I had put out a question about how do women in particular feel rushed to get married by a particular age. And I have never gotten so many DMs on one episode about how much pressure women in particular were feeling. And that was just a crazy moment where it was wow, people are tuning in and they're really involved in these discussions and conversations that we're having. And, that was a crazy, it was a nice, impactful moment to think about how much the issues and the things that we're talking about are really relevant in people's lives right now.
Yeah. No, it's so humbling to know that people want to listen to you. I hear people oh, I listen to your podcast. I'm really? You heard? I'm just
I wouldn't be like that.
I guess it's just I'm just so humbled by the fact that anyone would listen to my voice, our voices for an hour. You would let us into your life for that amount of time and just hear us speak. So it means so much. And then especially with the Patreon supporters too, we built a little community, and it's been dope.
Yeah, it's fun getting to know people on those very personal level. I mean, Patty, oh my goodness, yeah. Patrick is leader of the Real Talk Love Therapy fan club. It's really nice getting to know people on that personal level. When Patrick wasn't, I forget what live stream he wasn't there for, and we were where were you?
Yeah, where's Patrick?
And he was I was living my best black boy life in Puerto Rico, I think.
Yeah, it's great. We had a couple drawings too, which was nice.
Yeah.
I'd never been drawn before, and that was very nice.
Really?
Yeah, no one ever drew me, and it took Real Talk Love Therapy to get finally drawn.
Whoa.
Which was nice. One drawing was it was artistic. It was very interesting. One, I looked like a snack, so jawline was on point.
Oh, my Lord.
But yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
You know who else looks like a snack?
Oh God, we're not gonna do this right now. So let's do fan questions. So Patreon. Bailey Murphy, what you say Okay, what would you say is the best way to handle questions from your family regarding your current relationship status over the holidays?
Oh, I guess we probably should have talked about that in the other episode.
Yeah, okay, well, throw it in this one.
Um,
I don't know. My family, I think my mom gave up. She finally gave up. She would love for me to kind of settle down, but she's like, you know what, Eli's never going to have kids, and it just is what it is. So she doesn't bother me anymore. Like,
I just don't get why that's the topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we need to put out a book about like XX conversations you can have over the holidays with family that aren't about dating. Because
Yes.
it just seems like the most, I guess it's because it's the most basic thing that people feel like they can relate on. But like at this point, I feel like people just do it just cause. And not because they genuinely care about when you're going to get married, but just because it's like that's the thing that they're supposed to do. And it's just like, I just don't, I'm like, you don't really care. Like, why are we having this conversation? Let's talk about anything else. Anything else.
Anything else. Yeah, it's interesting where that is such a popular topic. It's like, who's dating who and who's with what, and you guys broke up and you guys got problems. Like, that's such like a juicy, like, just everyone's cheap stuff. Like, everyone is like completely like in each other's like love pot and just seeing what's in it and what it's all about. So
I just think there are so many other things I would appreciate you being up my butt about. Like, oh my goodness, how's that play going? Or like, you know, how is your business going? Like anything else. But I also do think, I don't know, maybe it's because like those are the things that like people can feel like jealous about, or like, you know, they can feel a type of way about you doing things that like, you know, especially like if you're somebody that has removed yourself from your hometown and like then has to go back and like, you know, I could see there being tension in that way. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many other things.
I can't help but think that they asked that. I think essentially, like, when you go back home for the holidays, it's just like you're each other's reality show. Like, you know how people watch reality shows just to realize how shitty other people's lives are and how great they are? So it's like pretty much like you hear about how everyone's doing, but you're really just kind of like observing it, and like as like a reality show person, I'm like, oh, really? I'm so sorry that happened. I feel so much better about myself now. I'm doing better than my cousin. But I get this question a lot about my current relationship status. I'll tell them I'm in a relationship, I'm seeing someone, or I got a very special friend. And I think it's like they just get it now, where it's like, once Eli brings someone, then we'll worry about it. Until he brings someone, I don't care. I just not going to be invested at all.